Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Whoa, had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, while they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone, cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
No, I'm in mid-train. Hold on, let me finish my point, you jerk.
You don't call your dad a jerk.
Well, you're being a jerk.
We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is, you know, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right.
I have a feel we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is back.
You play football. What's up? You know,
Well, I just want to say,
Hey,
you
hey.
are.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just sold Jerry a joke. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh my God. Just, we're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not
country
admit
of ninth in the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
That's a lot of
take
cover.
a lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go? You know,
Hey, you're getting too deep into this.
Rivalries make sports great, but they
Yes.
got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird.
If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
first off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ice. Somehow he talked about buttholes and made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7, and it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
Are you telling me coaches like Coach Popovich does plays in spaghetti noodles?
The thing about Coach Popovich is he actually liked to use popcorn with super glue.
Popcorn with super glue?
Yeah, he would put super glue little magnets on the bottom, and then he would arrange them on the board, and he would like color them different colors, and that would signify the opponents. And yeah,
Are those the players?
I don't want to give away any industry secrets on that particular thing, but yeah, I'm just gonna say you gotta. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying no more.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play
The
with
puck.
sticks and pucks.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the main event.
your ass damn sure better call somebody because we're on a night early. We will not be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. because I will be in Fort Worth trying to make a name for myself on sports radio up in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Hopefully,
Yeah,
so,
I'm very interested to hear how that goes.
I'll let the people know. I will let the people know. But I am your host or your co-host, Casey the Remix Schedule, the bald and the beautiful above me. Because for the first time to start a show, he actually logged in before me to StreamYard. Eddie, the original schedule, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. All right, Wednesday night. I'm not sure. It's Mike. What day is it? It's hump day.
Excuse me. All right, folks. Well, the old man, for some reason, thinks he's a comedian. So we like to start the show with his sad attempt to make me and the people laugh with the sorriest, lamest dad jokes there are. So go ahead, hit the people. Let's see if you
know
got
what's sad and lame is my screensaver makes it look like I have a dent in my head. I'm just noticing that. It's like there's a dent. It's like my head is actually shaped right. It's an optical illusion, people. That's all it is. It's an optical illusion. So the joke. So did you hear about the guy who went to the doctor for a headache? Well, the doctor examined his ear and found money. The doctor kept pulling and pulling it out until he had $1,999. Then the doctor said, "Well, it's no wonder you're not feeling too grand." Boom.
Wow.
Hilarious. Just like this dent in my head up here.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. All right, folks. Well, let's get you the rundown. What can you expect on tonight's show? We got Cowboys. It's football season. For those that, if you've never tuned in before, we do talk all sports, and we're going to we're going to scamper around the sports landscape tonight, as we always do, but we do skew towards our Dallas teams where we're both from. So we're going to talk about Cowboys preseason game 2. Who stood out? Who's a disappointment? Who should be cut? Who's terrible? And are we looking forward to anything out of preseason game 3? All right, I think it's Friday, I'm pretty sure, against the Falcons. And then we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball. All right, expansion talk. Where should the league expand? We're going to talk a little AL West as well. And we're going to talk a little Super Bowl. I know the old man is going to get pissed off at this subject. I ain't going to give it away to yet, but he's going to get pissed off because we all know his feelings are still in the intro highlight. That's how we know his feelings on NFL overseas. We got a combo kind of. We got we'll be diving into some sports news, some mistaken identities, and some sad injury news on the WNBA front. And how's the AL West doing? We'll check in on that. And then, of course, the new segment, making the most of your moment from the old man, and the whiskey of the week. And that'll close us up for the week. So let's get into the Dallas Cowboys. Let's start positive here. Let's start positive. I know you're shaking your head. You're being a little negative over there. Let's start on the positive side. Who did you like? Who stood out on the screen to you?
Well, the positive was Aubrey doing what he always does, kicking field goals. But, I'm going to stay on the positive before I get on the negative. But Aubrey looks good, Mr. Consistent. He had a few struggles last year, but very few. So I think that is one area. The defense did have a few picks, which, it's preseason. So it's really hard Cooper Rush came out there, showing, Cooper Rush is a good backup, always has been. He was when he was with the Cowboys, and he is now with the Ravens. And so yeah, I think the secondary did pretty good. They didn't get totally picked apart the whole game. Aubrey was the other part, and that is pretty much all the positives I had from a fairly boring game in my mind. So those are the positives. I'll let you talk about the positives before I get to the negatives, because I have plenty of those.
Yeah, I think everyone's got plenty of negatives. I'm going to
Oh,
say
wait, I did.
What?
I'm sorry, I did forget one. Milton did have a very nice throw to Mingo.
And now Mingo's hurt. So I think you missed the linebackers here. I really like the linebackers, Sanford, or not Sanford. Crap, I had it written down and I left my phone in the other room. He followed Eberflus from Chicago, and he looked really good. I like Leofau from last year's draft class. I think they're going to be able to hold it down until Overshown gets back. And I really like those two in the middle.
Yeah, you say that, but they still got gouged. But I still think the Cowboys, the Achilles heel is going to be the defense this year.
Well, we talked about that, and I think the second level is solid though. I really do. Sanborn, Jack Sanborn is his name, not whatever the hell I said. I really like him. I know the guys. I was on. Shout out to the Cowboy Up podcast. They had me on last night. They're hot on him as well. They're telling him wear number 50. They think it's the Sean Lee, the next coming of Sean Lee. I really like what I see from him. I thought Houston off the edge was a positive as well on the defensive side. Here's a guy who got cut because he's had an injury history, but he's outshining our second round pick. I'll tell you that much. What's his name over there? Crap. I can't even. It's Donovan. He's from Boston College. I can't say his last name. It's a funky one, and I don't want to look stupid. But yeah, the run game. We talked about this last week. The bugaboo for this defense the last few years have been the run defense. And other than Ziggy, who's not a gigantic guy, these guys get pushed off the line. And the biggest disappointment in that, I'm going to go ahead and transition to my biggest negative, is Mozzie fucking Smith. All right. Mozzie is a waste.
I don't really think that's his middle name. But
well, it should be, because I'm tired of seeing this dude as a first-round pick get blown consistently 3 or 4 yards off. He stands straight up out of his – I'm a freaking basketball coach, and I can freaking – I wouldn't get pushed back as much as him. And I'm 6 foot 240. All right? So, like, he just stands straight up, and it's 3 or 4 yards down the road. And so Mozzie, cut his ass. He's a practice team player right now. Move on. Maybe Solomon Thomas, the Jay Toa kid. He's a big body, but none of these guys have been impressive. And I think the run defense is going to be an issue. And I think offensively, I actually think Dak and the wide receivers and Fergie. I know you love Fergie. I think they're all going to have career years, because we're going to be passing the ball to catch up, and we're going to have score points. All right. I don't think it really matters who the fuck our running back is, even though I'm hearing Brian Robinson may be in play for the Cowboys. But yeah, my first biggest negative was the run defense and Mozzie fucking Smith.
all right. Well, I did try to teach him not to use those type of words.
This is why we don't stream on TikTok, so we don't get banned for language.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's still going to be an issue. I just think the defense they continue not to address it. And now, of course, you got the Micah situation, so he's not practicing or playing. And so it's the defense. It's like you said, all the offensive side could have banner years because they are going to be playing catch up. Because I just think the Eagles right now have one of the best, if not the best, running game in the league, and they're going to have to play them twice.
Yeah.
So it's not going to bode well for the Cowboys. The other negative for me was Milton really struggled in this game. Just he was doing things, and he's a rookie, so I get that. But he did struggle in keeping his eyes downfield a few times. Now, granted, the offensive line, which is obviously not the starting offensive line, there were a few times when he basically said hi and already has a raven in his face. But some of the throws that he made were really off target. Like I said, he did have one really good long one to Mingo, and now Mingo is obviously injured. So that to me was something a little telling, but I think that's how he gets better. He's got to be put out there and put in game situations to get better.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Milton's not a rookie. He was in the league last year.
Okay. Well, he's basically a rookie.
He didn't play. He's got the experience of a rookie, essentially. Joe Milton was unimpressive. Big topic last night was, do the Cowboys need to make a move for a backup quarterback? And one, it's not going to happen because we already traded draft capital for this guy, and we seem to trade draft capital for guys who can't play. Mingo, Milton, Trey Lance. Those could have been contributors at other positions, and it's unfortunate to really, really see we waste these mid-round picks on these guys. And I get his athleticism adds a dynamic, but you had that athleticism with Trey Lance. I got to be honest. From what I've seen, I'd rather have Trey Lance than Joe Milton right now. I got to be honest.
I'm not going to go down that road. I think Milton has a better arm than Lance.
No.
I just think he's going to need some more playing time. It's like I said, he may not be a straight-up rookie, but he is a rookie out on the field.
Well, he's not going to get playing time because Dak's here.
But Lance got a lot of playing time and got a lot of notoriety when he came in the league with the 49ers, all that stuff. And then he's had a lot. Let me just put it this way. He's had a lot more opportunities to excel than Milton has. This is really the first team that Milton has came to and had a chance to get in the game and start really learning, to me, from a decent veteran with Dak.
I mean, I'm going to disagree with you on both those fronts, to be honest. I mean, he had a chance to beat out another rookie, Drake May, in New England last year. Drake May is. I think Drake May is a solid quarterback. I didn't, but that was more of a chance to get on the field than here. Your point of learning from a veteran quarterback is valid. I'll concede on that. But Trey Lance, he comes into his rookie year. He's playing behind. Garoppolo gets hurt. He's the starter. Then he gets hurt, and then Brock Purdy takes over and never lets it go. So I don't know about opportunities in San Francisco for Trey Lance, but
yeah, well,
he's been in the league longer, so he has had more opportunities. So you are correct in that.
Yeah.
And now he's the backup over in San Diego. So
I know we got to close this segment out because we are up against it. But the one thing I want to finish out with that I'm looking forward to is Blue has been cleared to play against Atlanta this Friday. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on the field.
We can stretch the segment a little bit. I mean, I would say Blue is, if I was going to watch on Friday, which I value my time with my wife more than I do preseason week 3. Blue is a guy, I'll catch the highlights or the replay so I can fast forward through all the garbage that's going to be on the TV. But Blue is something I'm excited to see about. But what's been lacking and not inspiring when it comes to the Cowboys in these preseason games is the offense. And I'm hoping that Shoddy is holding on to some stuff in his back pocket, because this offense is going to need some tricks up its sleeve to be successful during the season. And we'll obviously discuss that more week one. So coming up next, we're going to dive into the Super Bowl. But first, a word from our first sponsor of the evening.
Easy App AI Creator sharpens your focus fast. Forget noise, see exactly what needs doing. Describe your idea, watch the app build itself.
Honestly, it's wild how I just say what kind of app I want, and it's basically done before I even finish my coffee.
Build your dreams, watch us rise. Easy App AI sets us to the skies.
Well, all right. Easy App AI. Why are you laughing? You like that boy band, don't you?
You fired Sharon and hired her. And then Yeti was solid. Yeah, the boy band threw me off, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, especially an Asian boy band. I was
oh Lordy.
All right.
Well, here we go.
Yes. I know the old man is going to get heated on this, so let me preface this particular subject with there's rumors that the Super Bowl, America's biggest game of the year, the a la carte everything American, is they are thinking about putting it somewhere overseas. The rumor is London. So not even in North America, not even in Canada, not even in Mexico, not even in Brazil. All right. No, in London, across the pond, NFL is thinking about putting the Super Bowl to appeal to an international audience. There's rumors of London should get an NFL franchise as well, but that's a subject for a different day. Tell us, old man, your face says it all, but let's hear the beautifully articulated words that you're about to talk about. Do you want to see a Super Bowl overseas?
That's some serious bullshit. First off, you said it. It's the American game. It is football. It is not soccer. It is not rugby. It is not cricket. It's the freaking Super Bowl. And the fact that they even are discussing this, I can't even say the word because it's so stupid. It's first off, the Super Bowl is already out of reach of the normal fan, unless you win tickets or something. You can't afford it. So now that's already outpriced. But then you want to throw it over in London? And then so now everybody's got the people who pay are going to have to throw onto that $10,000, $20,000 Super Bowl ticket a $5,000 to $10,000 freaking plane ticket to go over there. Unless you're flying Spirit Airlines, but Spirit Airlines don't fly to London. Just so you know that. So, or Frontier Airlines.
How do you know Spirit doesn't fly to London?
I'm pretty sure they don't fly to London. If I'm wrong on that, someone tell me. But I'm pretty sure that the Trailer Park Airline of Spirit. Now I said that. Now Spirit, you want me to correct that? Come be a sponsor, and I will do that for you. But and if you've ever looked on the internet, it's always a Spirit that are people fighting, and you know why they're fighting? Because they're pissed off. Because it's like, you want a bottle of water? That'll be $6, please. But back to the point. It's so stupid. Why would you take the Super Bowl, which is already out of reach, and put it into a place where, first off, there is no team. Second off, these people, they show up because it's a fad. They get a game. They don't know what the hell's going on. Coach,
I mean,
there you go.
the reason you do it is money, right? And this is a complete money grab. They're not catering to the fan of you and me, right? You said it. Unless we get credentialed, we're never probably ever going to a Super Bowl. So I don't care if the Cowboys are back in it. I'm not spending that money to go see that. I love the Cowboys. Not happening. And so to go into London or go international anywhere, I think there's just some things you don't do. I don't give a shit about how much money you can make. The Super Bowl is going to make money no matter where it goes. If you didn't want to make money, you would stop putting it in fucking New Orleans. You would keep it in California or Florida every year. I think it's a bad move if they do it. I know there's, argument and talk of putting a team in London. You see more and more games being played in London every year. And, if this happens, then to me, this is a precursor to an actual franchise being put in London. So I think the travel in that dynamic is terrible for teams. You imagine a West Seattle or the LA teams flying to London for a game. I mean, I don't care about how comfy the damn planes are now. That's still 11-hour flight, 12-hour flight, something like that. It's bullshit.
Damn ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's just, I can't even believe they're discussing this. Well, yeah, I can, because they don't care about the fans. It's kind of like the Cowboys. Gary don't give a damn about the fans. He really don't, because the fans keep paying. And that's how the NFL is right now. They keep paying.
I mean, you mentioned that the people in London are going to go to the game for, because it's a fad or it's a popular thing to do. And because it would be a once in a lifetime thing, they're going to jack the prices would be even more astronomical. And you're looking at European billionaires, because if you put it in London, now you're giving access to all European countries, because most of them are close, right? I mean, shit, Paris is a 2.5-hour train ride, and Germany's a hop, skipping away, and so you have, and you also have Spain, but you're opening it up to probably Europe if you're putting it in London, but ultimately, I think it's a mistake. I think it's tomfoolery.
Hell, let's just go the full Monty then. Let's hook up SpaceX and Bezos' Amazon spaceship, and let's do the Super Bowl on the moon, because that's where everybody's the people who can afford it can go. It's going to be in freaking space. Why, hell, it makes the passes and kicks a lot more fun to watch. But then you get to where it costs you $1 billion to go to the Super Bowl, which is what the hell they're getting. Right now, you've got millionaires watching the Super Bowl, watching billionaires play or billionaires run it. It's just, why not? Like, Elon, Bezos, let's just get your spaceship ready. Let's move the Super Bowl to the moon, because that's where the people who can afford it would love to go.
All right. Well, that's a little out there, and that's actually not the first time you've said that. Coming up next, we'll be diving into Shador Sanders, or was it Barry Sanders? And say it ain't so, Sophie. Say it ain't so. Here's a word from our sponsor.
Coaches, are you tired of paying hundreds of dollars for assessments that only work for one client or one session? What if you could create your own custom assessments tailored to your coaching style and your client's needs without breaking the bank? With Easy App AI, you can. No coding required. You can build assessments that are specific to your coaching programs, track your client's progress, and gather the data you need to drive meaningful results, all for a fraction of what you'd normally spend on third-party tools.
Have a book you have written and want to make an assessment to go with your book? You can have one in 15 minutes with this amazing AI. Seriously, if you can think it, you can build it into an app for pennies. Why pay for assessments when you can create your own? With Easy App AI, the power to design, customize, and deploy assessments is right at your fingertips.
Take control, save money, and elevate your coaching business with ease. Look, most people use AI to just write and really only scratch the surface of its power like it's some new toy. But if you get in the game and be proactive about your skills, you will have hundreds, if not thousands, of new ways to grow your business.
You can even start building your first app for free. We have a free plan for you to start with. Ready to start? Visit easyapai.com and create your first assessment today. The future of coaching is here. You just have to want it more.
Okay, no boy band in that one.
No, that one just ends with a creepy ass dude.
Why is he creepy? He's
The
like
voice
a
is creepy.
businessman.
The voice is creepy on it because that's
That
the
voice is like the voice that's used on so many different commercials and
it's
stuff.
not his voice.
Yes, it is his voice.
No, it's
You
not.
don't know that.
That is terrible. Like ESPN. ESPN is terrible. Unless you hire us, then we love you. Man. So
Why are you
this has been
saying
in the
ESPN's
news.
terrible?
What?
Why'd you say ESPN's terrible?
Because they ruin everything, and they're about to ruin the Red Zone channel, the NFL Network, and WWE.
We didn't even talk about that.
So, but the recent, they've gone downhill on their product. Like SportsCenter used to be phenomenal when Stuart A. Scott and Scott Van Pelt and the guys in the morning right now are solid. I will give them that, but it used to be really entertaining. Now it's just blasé, and there's some people that are on air that I just frankly say shouldn't be on air. And this particular one, I can't stand her. Her name is Monica McNutt. I don't like her. I haven't liked her since they put her on TV, but this week just put the nail in the coffin. All right. There's a dude on set. He's a real famous creator, hip hop guy. I don't really pay attention to him, but he's wearing a jersey and he's wearing it backwards. All right. I didn't know when that came. I didn't know Chris Cross came back in style, but he's wearing it backwards and it says Sanders on it. And it's number 20 and it's a certain shade of blue. Every effing football fan on this planet knows that's Barry Sanders. Detroit Lion Blue, number 20 Sanders is Barry Sanders. And Monica McNutt, a professional, a person who is on television, who has worked their career to get where she's at. And I'm over here just on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. live on Time Sports Talk. She thinks he's wearing a jersey supporting Shedeur Sanders. A colored jersey that he's never worn in his life that's Shedeur Sanders? No, you dumb person. Fucking Barry Sanders. You're in the sports world. What are you doing? Just stop. Oh, fire immediately. If I was in charge of talent at ESPN, you are fired immediately for being that stupid, because that is unacceptable to the fan base. Yes, that is Monica McNutt. All right, get her off the screen. I don't want to see her. I can't stand that woman. All right. Anyways, no,
I hit the wrong thing.
It's right here. I got it. All right, but Barry Sanders for Shedeur Sanders? Are you shitting me, man? All right. If you have any thoughts, please enlighten the people. Maybe talk me off the mountain ledge that I'm about to jump off of.
Well, first off, let me say I don't have the same despair for or attitude toward Monica, but I do think it is a little telling of the on ESPN. I miss the days of listening to, like you said, Stewart, and then it's just as cool as the other side of the pillow, things like that. It used to be all about sport, and now they've brought in people who, for whatever reason, don't have the same experience, don't have the same knowledge, because they want it to look. It's like, why does every show now have to have a lady surrounded by 4 or 5 guys? You know, I think their thinking is that, you know, that's showing that they're being diverse in allowing other types of reporters in sport. But I think it should be about who's good at it. You know,
I mean, bring back Sage Steele, please. All right. I know y'all bounced her because she's conservative and Christian and didn't line up with ESPN and Disney's views. All right. But bring me back Sage Steele. All right. Bring me back Brian Kinney or Steve Levy. You know, Neil Everett. You know, Jay Harris. Chris Berman. Well, he's still kind of on Sundays, I guess. But, you know, hell, we got one who lives 2 miles from me. Bring back Sean Salisbury, please. Like, get someone who knows fucking sports and won't make an idiot out of the network and make you lose credibility. That's what happened. They've been on a downward spiral as a network. And now, like, this? Seriously? Let's go back to Mike and Mike on the radio. Like, shit, give me Mike and Mike Golick Jr. back on the radio. So, I don't know. All right. Let's wrap that one up. The other subject for this particular segment is Say It Ain't So, Sophie. Say it ain't so, Sophie. Your girl is hurt. And that picture says it all. My only question for you, because you are Sophie Cunningham's biggest fan, was it intentional?
Well, you know, when I looked at this picture, of course, this actually isn't. And that first picture is from MSN.com, and this one is from on3.com. I want to make sure that I'm giving them credit.
What's up, Terry?
Yeah, what's up, Terry? But when I first saw it, and I saw her expression of, and what is her name? Hartley? Is that it? Hartley?
Something like that.
Yeah. On the floor, to me, she was kind of smirking. So I was like, wow, the WNBA, you just got another popular player that kind of moved into the spotlight when Caitlin went down and hasn't been there. Your 2 most popular players, and Sophie, I would argue they are, Caitlin and Sophie, are now out. And when I first saw it, I thought that was intentional, just because of the look on her face. And I've watched the replay over and over and over. But Sophie came on her podcast that she talks on a lot, and she says she's actually friends with this person. And she says she didn't intentionally do that. She says it was a basketball play. He doesn't feel it was intentional, that she didn't roll on her leg or nothing like that. She said, I know her. Me and her are friends. We talk all the time. So Sophie even said to her mother, stop posting on social media. Sophie said this on the podcast, and she said she told her mother, stop posting that this was intentional, because it wasn't. She said there's a lot of players out there that do intentional stuff, but she said this person is not one of them, at least to her. So I'm going to take Sophie at her word, but it is just sad that the 2 main players that I love to watch, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, are out now. And once again, the WNBA hurts its product, from my thing.
Yeah, I do think the officiating has been suspect at best when it comes to the Indiana Fever in particular, but I think it's atrocious across the league, to be honest. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's unfortunate because obviously Sophie has risen in many eyes in popularity, and she was becoming kind of one of those unsung heroes of the league. Not a star, to me, it's kind of like a Draymond Green, not with the same attitude or same hotheadness, but Draymond was a star, but he wasn't a superstar. Like everyone knows who he is. He kind of plays that enforcer role. And that was Sophie Cunningham. And so ultimately, it's sad to see. And Indiana's holding on to a playoff spot, I think. But with Caitlin being out and Sophie being out, that's unfortunate for the Indiana Fever. And and this is the thing with the league, man, is when you have such I don't know if how I want to word this, but kind of fragility there when it comes to your stars when you only have a few of them. You have better players than Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, but they're not national stars. Like Asia Wilson is an incredible player in Las Vegas, but she's not a superstar. She's not a move the needle star. Sabrina Ionescu is a star, but not a superstar. There's not very many. To me, there's only one superstar in the WNBA, and that's Caitlin Clark. So, Angel Reese is a star, but she's not a superstar.
More of a star of bad replays.
Yeah, and something that's been interesting with the WNBA before we transition here is, that they're in the middle of their CBA, their collective bargaining agreement negotiations, and the NBA offered to quadruple their salary to make the minimum salary $250,000 and the maximum $1 million, and it was rejected. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. I know Angel Reese was like, I got other options. Well, you need to look down your bench because some of these girls don't. All right. Some of these other players don't have other options. It's not about you, Angel Reese. It's not about you, Caitlin Clark. It's not about you, Asia Wilson. It's about the league and bringing the league up. And when you're a non-profitable league, you're being subsidized. As a matter of fact, the WNBA only owns 42% of its own league. Most people don't know that. Most of it's investors and by the NBA. So, they don't even own their own league, and you don't really have a lot to stand on. You just upped your earning potential by 4 times. Like, that's a pretty damn good increase, making $250,000. That's, to me, when you reject that and say that's not good, to me, that's a slap in the face to your everyday person. Like, I know they're athletes and they work their ass off. Well, to me, there's firefighters and police officers and military members out here working their ass off who make pennies on that. And I think every military member, we can speak to this because we were both in. If they came to us and offered to quadruple our salary, we would have said yes instantly without hesitation. Like, it's just, I think it's tomfoolery on their part.
So I'm going to put the mic up really close to my mouth and say, WNBA players, most people in America get a 3 to 4% raise if they get one at all. You were offered quadruple your pay for a failing freaking league and you turned it down. This just, it gets me it does to a certain thing. And I've talked about this before. Unfortunately, we live in a superficial society, and a lot of the people that are playing in the WNBA are seeing things through a superficial lens. They think because they're on TV, they're being interviewed and all that stuff, that they're making tons of money for other people. I'm here to tell you, you are not. You are being subsidized. You are a league that was put in place so ladies would have a place to play. You are not this show, even though you do have some superstars now. And when Caitlin Clark came in, people started coming to watch your games. Your games are on TV, and there's some things that people want to see, but you are not the show. You're not even as big as hockey. You're not even as big as cricket yet. Cricket has a bigger audience than you do. And that, people say it's a wicked googly in cricket. But here's the deal. You are offered 4 times your salary. Take that shit and run. Take it and run and play your game. And worry about making the game good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they should have, I think if you are going to negotiate that number, you don't sit here and just flat out reject it. I know, and I'll kind of cap this with this is, I know Diana Taurasi had a documentary talking like she's the best player in the world. And this was years ago. And she's like, I go to the stadium in Phoenix and the janitor makes more than me. These women would go overseas, and that's really where they made their money because women's basketball is more popular overseas, in places like Europe and Russia and all these other places. And the WNBA has always been something to just do in the summer, essentially. You have to take time to develop a product and to make a product profitable. And you have to understand where you're at. And those people who are in that process, the beginning, foundation pieces, because this league has already folded once in the 90s. So, you have kind of got to understand the history of the league and where it's going. And if they offered you $250,000 a year minimum salary, that's pretty damn good. It took NFL players a lot longer to get to that minimum salary than it's taking you. So, take it and run. Take it and run. All right. Well, coming up next, we're going to dive into the American League West situation. How are the Rangers looking? The Astros looking? The Mariners? Is anyone still in play for the wild card outside of, obviously Houston's leading the division? And Major League Baseball expansion. Manfred says he's open for it. The old man and me are going to give you where we think the Major League Baseball should expand because I think it's a good idea as far as Major League Baseball expansion. So here's a word from our sponsor.
Tired of lengthy proposals and waiting around on developers to try and match what you want or need? At Easy App AI Builder, we ditch the proposal and deliver your working app demo fast. No upfront costs. No upfront commitments. Just your app idea, brought to life within 24 to 48 hours. So why wait? Tell us your idea and we'll show you how it works. Get your free demo today at build.easyapai.com.
All righty. Quick, short. That's my favorite one. All right. It's actually under, I think, what was that, 15 seconds? Solid.
All right.
All right, folks. If you want to run that ad, that would cost you $10 on our show, by the way, for that time slot. The minute would be 25 and a 30 would be 20. So you get a deal on that minute right there. But all right, Major League Baseball. Well, before we get into that, let's go AL West first. As it currently sits in the AL West, we got the Houston Astros at top. They're a game and a half up on Seattle, 7 games up on the Rangers. What's crazy is the Astros in the last 10 games have been 4-6. They ain't been playing good baseball. But you know what's funny? The Mariners are even worse at 3-7. So they haven't lost their lead. Mariners just played 500 baseball. They'd be in the lead of the AL West. It's comical. The Rangers are 2-8. They've totally shit the bed. They're done. they're cooked. I'm sorry. You just wasted the best year of defense and pitching you've ever had in your franchise. Way to fuck that up, Bruce Bochy in the offense. And I shouldn't say too much about B. Boach tonight. He's not here to defend himself because he's actually not even at the game tonight. In all realness, he's dealing with some family situations, so he's not actually at the game. So prayers to B. Boach and his family. But your hitting coach sucks. You need to fire him because we can't hit the broadside of a barn when it comes to the baseball. So, and then you got the Angels at 60 and 66, and then Athletics way back at 57 and 70, one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. What's your take on, especially these top two teams and the Astros and Mariners? Are one of these teams going to say, "Hey, we actually want to win the damn division"?
Well, it's going to be interesting because there's a couple teams that you wouldn't figure would be in the wild card race. And like the Yankees are one of them. And I know we're talking AL West, but I think this is going to come down to who's going to get in as a wild card. And it is interesting to me of how they just kind of, when one team starts doing really well, the other one starts doing really well. And then one of them starts to kind of fall off, the other one starts to fall off. Now, the Rangers are another story. The Rangers just can't seem to be consistent for any period of time, which you've already addressed. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they can't, as Bochy would say, you got to hit the ball and you got to catch the ball. So,
and throw the ball.
Yeah. So I do think Houston has the best potential to finally finish out and win this, not just because they're in the lead, because it's not a big lead, obviously, with one game. But I just think based on their bullpen, based on their hitting, I think they're the ones who are going to finish this out and ultimately take this. But yeah, it's very interesting to watch. I don't think, in fact, there's not a whole lot of divisions that are close like that. Even over in the National League, the only one is you got to go back to the West in the National League. It's the Dodgers and San Diego. They're kind of doing the same exact thing. So, which is another one of my teams, the Padres.
So your division leaders in the AL are Detroit, Toronto, and Houston. I think Detroit's pretty much got that wrapped up. I think the Blue Jays pretty much have that wrapped up as well. You're 3 wild card spots now. Remember, so New York, Boston, and Seattle got those 3, and Seattle has a 2-game lead on the Kansas City Royals for that final wild card spot. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch. Framber Valdez for the Astros. He's really been struggling. Matter of fact, I saw AM 610 talking about this today. Is it time to get rid of him? Or it may have been 790 here locally, but is it time to, after the season, not re-sign him and move on from Valdez? The starting pitching in Houston has been suspect for much of the season. A lot of them been injured. You mentioned the hitting and the scoring with the Astros. If the Mariners could get their pitching right, I mean, the Mariners have scored 582 runs on the season, and the Astros have only scored 532. So being just as evidence, Seattle has the better offense. I think they have more power in their lineup, especially without Jordan Valdez being not healthy in Houston. But it's going to be interesting coming down the start. It's a 1.5 game difference. And it's going to be fun to watch in the AL West. It's sad to see the Rangers fall out of it. like I said, it's the best pitching year they've had. It's the best. I think they still have the number one defense in the league, and you just can't even hit the ball at an average pace. I mean, Adolis Garcia has forgot how to hit fastballs. Seager's been solid. The Simeon has sucked. Jock Peterson has been terrible. You can go down. Wyatt Langford has been pretty good this year as his full year. Evan Carter having the back injury, it's just kept him out pretty much all year. It's been sad to see. I'm just interested to see if Boach is back next year, and if not, who the manager is, and can this team actually respond? Because I think they have the pieces to make a run and to be competitive and make the playoffs in a year after year situation. But they got to figure out their hitting woes. Maybe they can use this last month of the year to kind of get some momentum going into next year. We mentioned it. Major League Baseball is talking about expansion. I think expansion is a good thing. I love expansion for Major League Baseball. It's been at 30 teams since the mid 90s. I think the last teams were the Marlins and the Rockies were the last two expansion teams. I think it's time. And with that, we have not talked about cities we think a team should be put. We want to kind of surprise each other with that. So I'm going to let you go first. I want to see if we match this up on what we're thinking, where a couple teams should be placed.
Well, let me just address, do I think it's a good thing? No, I don't. I don't think expanding baseball, which already has, to me, there's too many games. If you want to expand, I think they need to shorten the season. I know a lot of people would argue with that, but to me, it's the reason you don't fill up the stadiums during the season is there's just too many freaking games. There really is. What is it, 162 games?
162 games, yes. And I have a question on that point since you brought it up. The argument not to is we all know players in baseball don't have to win World Series to be great. But if you're in the record books, you're considered great as a great Hall of Fame player. If you shorten the season, do you think the record situation suffers when it comes? Because if you shorten the season, I don't think anyone's ever breaking Barry Bonds' home run record or RBI record. Well, the RBI record stood for over 100 years. I think it's 191 by Hack Wilson, I'm pretty sure. But if you do shorten it, what do you shorten it to? What number are you thinking?
Well, I haven't really looked at that. As far as
fair enough, it was an on the spot.
So, but I just think 162 games. I want to check something really quick, but sorry, I'm typing because I want to check something. But I just think it's just so many games, and I get it. But you have a hard time filling up stadiums as it is, and now you're talking about expanding, and you put it to me where would they expand? I mean, the obvious answer would be Vegas. I think that's where everybody wants to put a team now. Is Vegas. Because of the betting. And I've already said this, betting is too ingrained in sports now. That's why the things are too hard to go see games. It costs too much because it's all about the money, and now it's all about the betting. So I just think Vegas would be the only option. If I think of a second city,
while you're pondering a second city potentially, I think Vegas wasn't even on my list,
to be honest. I think the climate doesn't bode well for baseball. I know you can build an indoor park, but indoor parks with baseball, they've never done traditionally well. You know, you might be able to do a retractable roof out there, but if you've ever been to it's Dakin Park now or Minute Maid in the summer, the roof may be closed and the AC may be on, but it still feels 90 fucking degrees in there. So you imagine that in the Vegas heat. That might be a
dry
struggle.
heat. It's a dry heat. That's what they'll tell you. It's a dry heat.
Yeah, but I think the number one place that I think was obvious is Austin. I think
Where?
Austin, Texas.
Well, you just talked about heat.
Well, you can build it's not 115 during the day in Austin. All right.
Some days it is.
All across the South, it's some days. That's why they have retractable roofs. You don't have to sit here and poke holes and try to disagree with it. I'm trying to give you a reason here. Is the population in Austin is massive. It has grown over the last 10 years. They do not have one of the three major league sports teams in the city. So that team is going to gravitate heavily towards a baseball team. You know, if you've seen what they've done with FC Austin, they love their damn soccer team. Like they've gone all in on that shit. And I think they do a baseball. And I think the second obvious, if you're going to expand, go right down the road and make this a regional rivalry and go San Antonio. Go Austin and San Antonio. That would be an interesting dynamic. You have 4 teams in Texas. You add, your next closest team, and there's your division right there in realignment. But if you're not going to go 2 in Texas, I thought the second thing that popped in my mind was the Carolinas. There's no team in the Carolinas on the East Coast. In Charlotte and Raleigh. I think Charlotte would be a great place for Major League Baseball. And so those are the 2 places that really hit me was Austin and Charlotte. If you want to go international, maybe you go back to Montreal, maybe you go Mexico City. You already have, the Toronto Blue Jays. But if you're going to expand in the States, I think the Carolinas and Austin, Texas would be your 2 number ones on the list.
Well, like I said, I think Vegas is the no-brainer for Major League Baseball. But I like Nashville. I think Nashville can use a baseball team. It's a good as far as weather and all that stuff. It would be a good place to play, and I think there would be support for that since they now have football, they have hockey. It just makes sense to get a baseball team.
I like that pick. They were on my list as well, but I think I like it.
So when we were talking, what I was looking up, I was interested to see how many games Babe Ruth when he set the home run record, 60 home runs, because you're talking about people in their stats. He only played, there was a 154 game season, and he only played 151 games. So he set that record of 60 home runs in 151 games. I think you could scale it back a little bit, and I get the whole thing about the records, but it's more about getting people to the game, making the season more relevant in my mind. The reason we all gravitate to the NFL and the reason they're making dumb discussions about taking the Super Bowl to London is because there's only so many games in the year, and everybody looks forward to it. And every Sunday, everybody's glued to the TV. Of course, they've expanded to Thursdays now, and Monday night has always been there. But it's because there's fewer games, more people get into it. And to me, baseball kind of goes, spring training starts at the beginning of the season, and a lot of people are into it. But then when you get mid-season, it's there's a few things going on, but it's not as popular, I should say, during that time, just because there are so many games. How do you fix it? I don't know. I don't know what you would bring it back to, because I know the argument's going to be about the records and all that junk, but it's one of those sports. Unfortunately, there's just too many games. That's my thought on that. But Vegas and Nashville.
I like I said, I like
Are you lost?
No, I'm obviously looking up. I just kind of wanted to look up, recent attendance numbers, because you're talking about attendance numbers and the number of games, and that's kind of just forget. I mean, in 2023, so last year, they had an average 70.7 million people attended games. That's an average of 29,000 per game per team. That's a pretty good number. So far in 2024, it's up to 71.3 million, and we got about a month left in the season. And this year, it's seen the highest attendance in 7 years. So I think changes to the game to make the game quicker has been a positive effect on that, with the pitch clock, with the overtime rules, with the guy.
I would agree.
Huh?
I said I would agree.
And so I thought baseball, with the length of the season, you have a valid point there. I would agree with that. But other than shortening the schedule, which I think the number, if you did, is that 154 where it was before. But I don't think you should. But I think the game length was a bigger issue than the number of games. And I think Major League Baseball has done a solid job of addressing that. I'm not going to look it up now, but the average time of games, I think, is under 3 hours now, which before I think it was between 3 and 3.5, which is a long time.
Yeah, take an hour nap in the middle of a baseball game. It's still going on.
Right. I mean, football is 3.5 hours, but it feels different, right? It's fast paced when during those 12.5 minutes of game time you're actually getting. And obviously basketball is up and down, up and down. So baseball has a different feel to it. And so I think there's discussion there for shortening the season for sure, but I wouldn't do it. I like the expansion part of it. I think the two you mentioned and the two I mentioned are all viable candidates. I think Montreal getting a team again, but I also have a problem giving a city a second chance that couldn't support the first team. I think Mexico City might be an option.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That's like giving Los Angeles multiple NFL teams.
Oh, well, yeah. And there's some other smaller markets out there. Maybe Portland could be one. Something of that nature. But yeah. All right. That's going to wrap up our Major League Baseball section. I'm brain farting. We got well, I clicked off the script, so that was my fault. We got Making the Most of Your Moment coming up. The old man is going to put something on the screen. Making the Most of Your Moment. You could sponsor this right here, by the way, if you are out there watching. I would say the old man would name his price on the sponsor, but I'm sure wouldn't be too much money. But making the most of your moment is a random person or fan or a player. Hell, I don't know. Making the most of their moment. Exactly what the hell it sounds like. So what do we got today, old man?
All right. Well, this is actually not a new one. It's been around for a little while, but I think this kid deserves some love. It's courtesy of Sport Bible. And it is also on X. So this kid basically he's got to make 4 shots from different lengths of the court to win $10,000. 4 shots.
Is this a Flint Tropic situation where they don't actually have the money because they don't expect anyone to actually do it?
That I think he got the money, but I know the parents probably came out and said, that's
hold
mine.
on before you don't press play yet. If you just look at this looks shady as shit when it comes to a $10,000 prize. That is a middle school gym where the stage is behind the goal.
Benefit of the doubt that they did this to raise money. But let's just watch him do this, because think about this when you're that age. What is he? Probably about 10?
I don't know. Probably needs
here
to be
we go.
Crushing on
4
his baby
shots
or something.
From different points on the court, including a half-court shot, he has to make to win $10,000.
Right.
So here we go.
All right, roll it. All right,
Ready, go.
There's one.
Yeah.
Free throw.
His form is all right. I like his form. All right. Nothing more.
Now he's got to get it from half court.
Oh, baseball pass. Banger.
That is making the most of his moment. And they go crazy.
Making the most of your moment.
That's the whole thing. And that's the thing. Make the most of your moment. When you're given that chance to shine like that, that kid will never, no matter how old he is a legend. And in fact, it was posted by the Internet Hall of Fame. He's in the Internet Hall of Fame for that, because he made the most of his moment. 4 shots. Could you do that, Mr. Basketball Guru Coach?
Listen, yes, I could. And matter of fact, I've hit 3 half-court shots in a row before. So that's my record from half court. Done at Leander High School against Jeremy Fry, if you need a witness. And I did them all underhand from half court. So, and my kids that I coach could confess to that as well. So, yes, I could do that. Thank you very much.
There you go.
There's many things you can doubt me on, Pops, but my basketball talent is not one of them. All right, let's go whiskey of the week. Whiskey of the week. One, I bought this thing because of the bottle. It's a snake wrapped around the bottle, and it's a shotgun casing at the bottom. And this is American Barrels Kentucky Bourbon, 86 proof, so 43% alcohol. Sweet bottle here. The taste, it's going to burn a little bit. Not going to lie. It's not the smoothest whiskey I've ever had, but you get a good mixer in there, you'll be all right. So, yes, American Barrels Kentucky Bourbon. It's got a rattlesnake. It's a rattlesnake, by the way. So it kind of appeals to a little more of the Texas crowd there. Is our whiskey of the week. So,
well, there you go.
All right, what's going on? What have you been up to since the last time we've been on air? Anything exciting?
What have I been up to? Well,
talk to your fans. Let them know the man, the myth, the legend.
I've been working on marketing and finding a job.
That's both of us looking for
on the job market. So we don't have enough sponsors to support us. So we need sponsors. I'm trying to find people that will pay for my talent. So, and it seems to be they pay me to leave the room more than they do to stay in the room. I don't know what's going on with that.
Right. Well, we got 0 0 week of college football this weekend. Preseason should wrap up NFL. So a lot to talk about next week. We'll dive into some college football, I would imagine, as well as have our expectations changed for the Dallas Cowboys based off what we've seen in the preseason. Because I believe when we went over their schedule, we were both very optimistic. I had them going, I believe, 11-6, and you had them going 12-5. So have those expectations changed based off of what we've seen and what they've done the rest of the season. And will Micah still be on the team? Matter of fact, I think that was on our agenda. We didn't get to it. But is it time to walk away from Micah if you are the Dallas Cowboys brass? Has it become unrepairable between the two? This next week, I think, will tell a lot because we're about to get into the regular season.
He did have Sadi talking that he thinks he believes Micah will be there week 1. That's what he believes. But, it all comes down to the crazy man in charge of Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, and essentially, I asked the question: are we looking at it all wrong? Or is anyone looking at it from the owners or the other side of it? When you have a guy under control for the next 3 seasons, because you have him under contract for this year, you have a franchise tag 2 years. What's the rush of getting the deal done when this guy is guaranteed close to $90 million over the next 3 years with those 3 things? So it's an interesting conversation to have. And if you want any chance at all at making the playoffs and making a run in the playoffs, you need Micah Parsons. Now, I've seen some of these trade packages Adam Schefter's been reporting, like from the Packers and the Bills and things of that nature. Some of them are tempting, but none of them are like, oh my God, you have to make this deal. Like, I think Packers one had a running back in it. I think the Bills had Ed Oliver in it with, as a defensive tackle, which we desperately need. But does Ed Oliver make up for what Michael Parsons gives you on the defensive side? The answer to that is hell no. So I had an interesting question for you. We're kind of in our random segment here to end the show. Which 94 would you want in Dallas Cowboys history? Would you pick Charles Haley or DeMarcus Ware?
Charles Haley.
Not even a thought?
Nope. Because Charles Haley changed that team from a coulda, woulda to champion. Charles Haley single-handedly, to me, changed the entire defense of the Dallas Cowboys when he came to that team. He was already a Super Bowl winner, but the other thing that Charles Haley brought to the team, and I'm not knocking DeMarcus Ware, but DeMarcus Ware never won a championship until he left the Cowboys. So, to me, Charles Haley came in and basically told people, you start playing and doing your job or I'll kick your ass. And nobody messed with him. Because
Charles Haley is known to be a little off. All right. I think the parallel between the two is actually very similar, because you just said Charles Haley went to the Cowboys, changed the defense. I would argue that DeMarcus Ware put Denver over the top as well.
Well, yeah.
And so look, man, I'm normally old school on these. Which one would you want? I'm taking DeMarcus Ware. I think DeMarcus Ware was a better player overall. Is just his talent. They're both Hall of Fame players. Obviously, Charles Haley won more championships. I think Charles Haley was on better teams. We all know Jerry has held back the Dallas Cowboys. He's wasted how many Hall of Fame careers over the last 30 years? I don't hold that against DeMarcus Ware. I really don't. I hold that against Jerry Jones and the people in the front office. So I would pick DeMarcus Ware. I think he was, but you couldn't go wrong with either. I don't think you're wrong in picking Charles Haley. I just knew you would pick him because you're even older school than me. So I thought it would be an interesting topic. I mean, we talked a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, which 88 would you take? Irvin, Dez, or Pearson, or CD. You took Irvin. I took Dez Bryant, just in pure talent and physicality. But, honestly, I think it's probably Irvin, Dez, CD, and then Drew Pearson. But interesting conversations. Have you caught any of the Dallas Cowboys documentary, the docuseries on Netflix yet?
Not yet. I figure I'm gonna wait and watch it all at once. So
I'm hearing it's actually really, really good. People are putting it up there with The Last Dance. So I think it's something we need to get into and kind of give maybe a weekly report on each episode and our thoughts on it. Maybe we'll start that with the beginning of football season. Maybe we'll leave that as a segment there. But all right. Next week we should be back on Thursday. Unless our man Dustin it can't go on Wednesday, we might hop in there on Wednesday again. But yeah, man, tell the people that you love and adore, that love being entertained, tune in to On Time Sports Talk. By the way, my man Hinkle, who commented like crazy on Cowboys Up podcast last night. I didn't see you at all tonight. You said you were going to tune in. I didn't see you comment once. So I'm a little disappointed in that, Mr. Hinkle. But I hope next week you'll tune in. And what do you remember what was that one kid's name? Colton. We miss you, Colton, you jackass. So Colton, come on back. We love haters too. But all right. Any last tidbits there, Baldy? Oh, well, shit.
That's it.
You ripped the paper.
We are done.
We're done. But
I'm doing me.
right.
I don't know who tore up a speech last time. I don't know who that was. I'm not going to get political, but there you go. Another week down. Yes, back at normal time next week. Make sure you check out our sponsors, Easy App AI, even with the boy band.
Yeah, that was classic. And be on the lookout. I might be hopping on other podcasts, giving my opinions, like Cowboy Up and some other places. They invited me to be a part of their fantasy draft, which they're not charging anything, unlike the Tired Sports Network. Because right now, you can't afford that price tag, homie. But yeah.
Charging? I signed up for that. I didn't know I got to pay. What I got to pay?
It's $20 a person, big dog.
I'm out.
You already signed your name on the dotted line. You got more job prospects than I do. So, but yeah, folks out there, man, we appreciate you sticking around. Thank you for Terry Walker for being our only commenter. Please, when y'all are watching this, please comment. You'll get you on the screen. We'll talk to you. We'll discuss what you're trying to throw down. It makes it more entertaining for us and you as the viewers. So we love all y'all. Follow Tired Sports Network there on the screen. You can see all our shows there on the left right there. I put them on with this new graphic. We got the Bearded Bros, the Sorry in Advance, Recognized Game, Crew Talk, the Mac Truck Podcast, Pints and Parlays. They do a lot of gambling recommendations and stuff. They're out of Vegas. And then if you like wrestling, this Saturday night Smack Talk, these two dudes, it's entertaining and they know what the hell they're talking about. So a lot of great shows on the network. We're live 7 days a week. And if you're a sponsor, that's 7 days a week. You could be sponsoring the entire network that we could be giving you some love. So, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Peace. We're out of here.
Take care.